Yo, what's up guys? It's Mike with Six Pack Shortcuts. I'm with my man, John Romanello. This guy wrote a book called Engineering the Alpha that's gonna be out really soon. Guess who wrote the foreword for that book? The man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So,
you guys might have heard of him.
Most people in their life will never even have the privilege of talking to Arnold or even learning anything from him.
Sure.
So you're in that position now to where, you know, he's your buddy. What has Arnold taught you about fitness?
Again, guys, Arnold is really an awesome dude. Just like from top to bottom, he's a cool guy. Treats everyone with respect, which
he's the man.
He really is the man. And so recently, my co-author Adam and I became the heads of his fitness advisory board. So we generate content, manage some stuff. It's really great. Over this course of time, I've gotten to know Arnold and talked to him about life and fitness. And one of the really cool things that I like about Arnold is that he's well aware that a lot of the stuff that they taught in the golden age wasn't really accurate. But the crazy thing is that some of it was. Arnold was like, well, it worked, so why? And so we've actually now seen research that shows that some of the things that were taught in the golden age were actually true, even though for about 20 or 30 years now, we've said they weren't. A big one is that for about 20 years, it's been debated whether, let's say, you could flex the upper part of your chest, or if you could target, just the peak of your biceps. And a lot of people who are into research said that this wasn't possible, whereas Arnold saw it work every day.
Well, maybe their upper chest wasn't big enough to be flexed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So is the argument, does an incline bench target the upper chest? Does close grip, target the triceps more? All of these things, or will all of the muscles just flex? Like, the common thing is like, well, if you can just flex your lower bicep, show me right now. So that's the thing. But what we found is that starting in about 2000, some research started to be published which showed what we call selectorized hypertrophy. And so really what it shows is regional specific hypertrophy, or recruitment of different muscles based on hand positioning, based on the exercise selection. And you can target your upper chest, you can target your lower chest, your outer lats or lower lats. All of these things are possible. So what scientists said was BS, simply because there was no study specifically backing up for 20 years.
Yeah, because before, people just said, you can't target it, so might as well do anything and work everything at the same time.
Right. So dips will work just as well for your chest as bench press or push-ups for that matter. And we now know that these things work in different ways. And so the thing that I've learned from Arnold is not to discount something just because there's no research to prove it. If something works, I have learned to be curious about why it works, but be concerned mostly with that it works. And so that's a really important lesson that has helped me a lot.
Remember, we were having a conversation in the other room. Over the last 20 years, testosterone levels have dropped?
Yeah, so over the past 2 decades, the average testosterone levels across the board have dropped about 22%, which means that the average guy just walking around 20 years ago had 22% more testosterone than the average guy now.
That's insane.
Right, so why? So there's all these different factors. We sleep less, our lifestyles are not really protective of our testosterone levels, and all of these things. But I don't really want to talk so much about why these things are happening. I want to talk about why they're dangerous. What a lot of people don't realize is that you may have low testosterone. We interviewed over 320 people in the course of writing this book, and we found guys as young as 22 years old who were suffering from things like low sex drive. And then
crazy.
It's nuts. And
they're young. You figure that'd be like in the 50s is what most people
precisely.
think,
And so this is not a problem for only like older guys. Like you and I are in our 30s now, so like this is when people start worrying about it. But we've had guys as young as 22, and so the first thing that we want to tell everyone, go get tested. That's the first thing you need to do. Get your testosterone levels tested, because you don't know. Maybe it's responsible for the fact that you're not losing fat, not gaining muscle. Maybe it's responsible for the fact that you're not sleeping well, or you might be depressed. All of these negative things that happen because of low testosterone. So we want to first create awareness, but that's certainly not enough. The next thing we do in the book is we help solve the problem. And so there's a lot of different tricks that you can use to increase testosterone. So the first thing, reduce carbohydrates, jack up your fat intake. Here's why. People are afraid of fat, particularly saturated fat, because all the concerns about cholesterol. Well, it's been shown over and over again that when people take, let's say, a paleo-style diet, not only does their cholesterol not go up that much, or sometimes it even gets lower, their HDL to LDL balances out and is a more favorable ratio, and their triglycerides get lowered. So eating your favorite things, your coconut oils, your hamburgers, your steak, your eggs, cover these things in butter can actually help make you healthier.
Yeah.
And they increase testosterone. Dietary intake of cholesterol is really important. What a lot of people don't realize is that cholesterol is sort of this like granddaddy hormone. It is actually the precursor to all sex hormones. So testosterone. So if you eat more dietary cholesterol, eat more fat, saturated fat, testosterone levels go up. So that's really important. That's an easy way to
So what I'm thinking is eat more steak, eat more burgers, and have more sex with women.
Yes. The easiest and most fun way to increase testosterone is to have more sex.
There you go.
So that's my action tip. That is your homework tonight. That's how you're going to go increase testosterone. Everybody go have sex.
Hump on everybody you see.
And then getting more sleep is really important. Over the past 20 years, we've actually started sleeping on average between 45 and 75 minutes, so an hour and 15 minutes. Less than we used to. Over the past 20 years, two things have happened. One, we've started sleeping less, and two, testosterone levels have dropped. Correlation doesn't necessarily imply causation, but we do know how integral and vital sleep is to the maintenance of the overall positive hormonal milieu. So get more sleep. Start to get at least 8 hours a night. De-stress, like unplug your computers and your laptops and your iPhones and iPads like at about 9 p.m., about 2 hours before you go to bed, and just try to like veg out and relax. Sleep is super important.
Have more sex, that's probably the best. More fats, eat your red meats, eat your steaks, coconut oil, get your saturated fats, and sleep more. Also cut down your carbs. Now, a lot of guys are probably gonna go, man, I'm just gonna go carb-free, Atkins style. What do you think about that? When you talk about cutting down, how much to cut down?
What I always recommend is that if you believe that you have a problem with insulin management or lower testosterone, cut out carbs as much as you can for about a month. So go like close to zero carb. But remember, carbs and insulin are also very anabolic. And so you want to get into more of a carb cycling approach. So after 1 month of going very low carb, what we call an insulin reset, then from there you would start introducing carbs slowly with about 100 grams on workout days, about 30 grams on non-workout days, and then you could build up from there based on your tolerance. I know guys who eat up to 400 grams of carbs on workout days, and other guys who can't handle more than 150. So it really depends. So test these things. Use your body as a laboratory, because that's really what it is. The only thing that will tell you what works for you is tests. The first phase in the program of our book, Engineering the Alpha, is called Prime. And that phase uses an insulin reset and metabolic resistance training to really maximize insulin sensitivity over that first month, which not only helps you lose fat during that first month, not only helps you maximize testosterone later on, it also sets you up so that every phase of the program after that is more effective. So it's got like a periodized approach as well. It's really, it's pretty sophisticated stuff, but it's not hard to implement is the great thing.
Besides tests, I know you also talk about GH.
Yes.
So when it comes to working out, guys always think, okay, testosterone needs to be high, but GH levels is super important. For you guys that don't know GH, growth hormone. So I know for sure that growth hormone is super high while people are hitting puberty.
Yes.
But then after that, it seems to start leveling off.
Yeah, it levels off after puberty. It starts to, sort of in a plateau mode. So from around the time you're 20 years old till about 30, it's pretty stable. And then after 30 years old, it seems that testosterone levels start to drop about 1% per year. And growth hormone is probably not too far behind. There is a decline, but I don't have the numbers on that. So growth hormone is super important for a few reasons. One, the presence of growth hormone alone helps in terms of anti-aging. A lot of anti-aging doctors actually prescribe growth hormone injections for their clients because it helps their skin look better, it helps with their joints, it helps recovery. Growth hormone has been called the fountain of youth, right? And it really is effective. I've had clients, older clients in their 60s who go on growth hormone injections, and without changing diet or training, they not only start looking better, feeling better, increase sex drive, but they've lost like 4 inches on their waist in 6 weeks without changing anything else.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
I had a buddy that, well, this guy was on everything under the sun, but he was on GH, and you know what? His skin, it was like baby soft.
Yeah.
He was like a 300-something pound dude. I mean, you'd figure he'd be like a roughneck looking, but no, it was baby soft, soft hair, and he was leaning out, and it was from GH.
Obviously, we're not recommending that you go on injectable GH, but I use those examples to illustrate to you the importance of growth hormone and how profound an effect it can have, not only on your physiology with regard to your physique, but also your internal physiology and the way things function. It is vitally important. And so there are ways to increase it. More weight. Also doing stuff like breathing squats, those 20 rep squats that everyone does, the Widowmakers, super effective. We're gonna put him through one of those in the next video. Another really easy way to increase growth hormone is to sleep more. Sleep is growth hormone is primarily produced when you're in REM sleep. The final thing that we want to consider is intermittent fasting. Fasting is really just not eating. In fact, we're both doing it right now. Periods of fasting of about 16 hours or more have been shown. When you fast, you actually increase growth hormone because insulin, again, is an antagonist to growth hormone. So what happens? This is the schedule most people live on. They go to sleep, they wake up, and they eat breakfast. As soon as you increase insulin production, growth hormone production goes down. So by waking up and having breakfast first thing in the morning, what's happening is that guys are shutting down growth hormone production and jacking up insulin production. Right. Yeah. So the easy thing to do is simply push your breakfast back 3 to 5 hours after you wake up. So you're going to be fasting for about 3 to 5 hours when you're awake, ideally around 16 hours. This is a style of fasting called lean gains, popularized by Swedish nutritionist Martin Birkin. So hat tip to Martin for that information. So the lean gain style, the 16-hour fast, are really effective for calorie management and just like slow weight loss, but it's also super effective for potentiating growth hormone. So that's really important as well.
What about energy levels in the morning? Because I know I eat a good-sized breakfast.
Sure.
So.
I mean, fasting isn't easy when you first start. I actually fast every single day. I generally, my first meal of the day is after my workout. So it's generally about 1 or 2 p.m. and I wake up at 6. Yeah. So that's a long stretch to go out without food. When I first started fasting, that was hard. Yeah. Now it's easy, and I'll tell you why. There's a hormone called ghrelin. Ghrelin is called the hunger hormone. The production of ghrelin makes you hungry. And when you get hungry, you produce ghrelin. So it's this cyclical thing. So sometimes you have to get comfortable with discomfort. So if you train your body to expect food 6 times a day, every 2 hours, what's gonna happen is right around the hour-and-a-half mark, you're gonna start producing ghrelin, which will make you hungry. What you need to do is just start fasting by dealing with the discomfort for about a week. And it's gonna suck, and your energy levels are gonna be a little bit low.
But eventually, it'll go away.
In about a week, your ghrelin levels will be retrained. Your ghrelin production will be retrained, and you're gonna start producing it at 1 or 2 p.m. instead of 6 a.m. when you wake up. There's just about a week of momentary discomfort, but then it goes away. So it's really effective. And again, fasting isn't for everyone, but it's been a life changer for me.
A lot of people think, when you're fasting, it's like, oh, I'm gonna lose muscle because I don't have protein. Look at this guy. See that?
Well, one thing you can say,
he's not losing any muscle. So
no, fasting actually can help you hang on to muscle for a few reasons. One, because you're minimizing insulin production and maximizing growth hormone production. 2 things that are very helpful for the maintenance of lean body mass. Yeah. But also because you're still gonna get the same number of calories, right? I'm not telling you to eat less food, I'm just telling you to eat it in a shorter period of time. Yeah. So if you normally eat like 3,000 calories a day, starting at 6 a.m.
Yeah, like 6 meals or something.
Right, instead of 6 meals, just eat 3. You'll get the same number of calories, and research has shown that the metabolic effect in terms of basal metabolic rate increases that come with feeding, what we call the thermic effect of food, they are not affected at all by the frequency of feeding, but are instead determined by the total number of calories. So if you're eating 3,000 calories, whether it's 6 meals or 2 meals or 5 meals, it's not gonna make a difference. You're gonna get the same metabolic effect. You can find out more about the book at engineeringthealpha.com, and depending on when you go, there's all sorts of bonuses that you're gonna get for ordering.
Guys, definitely check out John's book. There's so much information. He's only just scratching the surface on what's in there. So engineeringthealpha.com, check it out. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and read the whole thing, and y'all guys will know because I'm gonna start making some videos talking about how to increase your testosterone and your GH levels without injecting yourself. Yeah, we're not gonna do any of that. So thanks for watching, guys. Hey John, thanks for the video, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This guy is jacked.
Peace.
What did he say? Look at that. Killer arms, baby.
It's like do the predator handshake.
Predator handshake. You've been pushing too many pencils. Ah, shit. Arnold fans, you love it. Check out the book. See y'all guys next time.
Take care, guys.